Welcome into the locker room on this Friday afternoon. My name is Namath Pitts. We have officially reached the end of the week, but we are going to finish the week in a strong way as we have highlights from Champion Sports Academy yesterday from the morning session where a couple of our East Alabama teams were in action. We're going to have highlights of Coach Whitney Welch and the Alexandria Valley Cubs, highlights of Coach Anna Taylor and the Donahoe Falcons. We have highlights of Coach McKibbins and the Oxford Yellow Jackets. You also see Westbrook Christian and Sandrock. So it was a busy day at Champion Sports Academy. But first of all, I want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the locker room. Guys, July is about to come to a close, which means August is right around the corner, which means football season is approaching, volleyball season is approaching, 5 shows a week is approaching. And it is going to be an adjustment going back from 3 to 5. But for right now, for the end of July, it is 3 shows a week. And also our East Alabama Now news is tonight at 6:30 p.m. Of course, Mike Stem and Katie Edwards always bring you the most up-to-date local news. John Holder has your weather. He'll tell you a little bit about the weather on your street tonight. And I will bring you sports as we talk about a couple different things, some football camps, new baseball hires, and we've got a power weightlifting today as well for a local athlete. So we have more on all that tonight on our East Alabama Now news. All right, Coach Whitney Welch and the Alexandria Valley Cubs, they made the state semifinals a year ago, went 5 sets with ARAB, and they had to win by 2. Them and ARAB went back and forth, but ultimately the Knights would prevail and knock out Alexandria, and ARAB would advance to the state championship game. For Coach Whitney Welch and the Alexandria Valley Cubs, it was a disappointing finish to the season, a season that they truly felt like they could bring home a state championship. For Coach Anna Taylor's team, they replaced a lot from the year before on a team that had won a state championship, a team that had defeated Coach Dana Bryant and Pleasant Valley in the state championship game. But last year was different for Donahoe. They only had one senior, and it was Estella Cannell, who was a very important piece of that team. They bring back everybody, and they feel like this year they have a team. Although they're moving from 2A to 3A, they still feel like the pieces are there to bring home a 3A state championship. So Donahoe's brought home a 1A state championship. They brought home a 2A state championship. Can they now bring home a 3A state championship? That is to be determined. But Anna Taylor is the first person I see, obviously, Sam Wakefield. Sam Wakefield's the first person that stands out. When you look at this team, look at what they're capable of. She's been a centerpiece for Anna Taylor's team over the past couple of years, and she will certainly be that this year. So to start the action at Champions yesterday, Anna Taylor's Donahoe Falcons went head-to-head with Whitney Welch's Alexandria Valley Cubs. But before we get to the highlights, our highlights are presented by the Joey Cruz team with Keller Williams Realty Group. So here's my good friend Chad Barnett telling you more about the Joey Cruz team.
When finding your next home, you need someone who knows the area inside and out. That's why you need to call us. Hey everybody, Chad Barnett here with the Joey Cruz team at Keller Williams Realty Group. When it's time to move, you need someone who will advertise your home, show prospective buyers, negotiate the purchase contract, arrange financing, all of the ins and outs of buying and selling. But the best thing about the Joey Cruz team is we have individual specialized agents working for you. If we come list your home, that listing agent will be on your side of the table all the time. The buyer will be shown by another agent. This keeps your interest at the utmost respect on our side. We will always be on your side of the table. We can take care of everything you need from start to close, like staging, home repairs, minor improvements, whatever's going to make your house look the best when it's time to go on the market. That is what we do. Our job here at the Joey Cruz team is pretty simple. Make you the most money in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassle. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, call the Joey Cruz team today and let us put your real estate needs in cruise control.
Chad and the Joey Cruz team are top notch, and you really do need to reach out to them for all your real estate needs. All right, with that being said, let's go out to Champion Sports Academy, where Alexandria's Whitney Welch and the Valley Cubs went head-to-head with the Falcons and Anna Taylor of Donahoe. Here are the highlights. Now, yesterday at Champion Sports Academy, each game played between each team was only 2 sets, so there wasn't, if they tied in the 2 sets. If somebody won those 2 sets, they won those 2 sets. But ultimately, though, I believe Alexandria had a big lead on Donahoe in the first set. Donahoe did close the gap, but Alexandria won, and Alexandria took set 2 as ultimately Whitney Welch and the Valley Cubs got the win over Donahoe. Speaking of Alexandria, though, we have highlights of pretty much all their games. We ended up having them against Donahoe, them against Sandrock, and them against Oxford. So we do have more on Alexandria, but we're going to talk about the Oxford Yellow Jackets, Coach McKibben's team. We're going to talk about them after the break. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll talk about the Oxford Yellow Jackets. They were in action yesterday at Champion Sports Academy, so don't go away. We'll be right back on The Locker Room.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We are back on The Locker Room on this Friday afternoon. My name's Namath Pitts. We're talking Champion Sports Academy volleyball play date that took place yesterday. There was 10 teams that went to Champions between the morning session and the afternoon session. And the next game we're going to talk about features the Oxford Yellow Jackets and the Westbrook Christian Warriors. The Oxford Yellow Jackets are led by Coach Wendy McKibben. They made the state tournament last year before falling to Bayside Academy in the first game. When I look at Oxford, they lose Jamia Gaston, who's, of course, going to be a big loss for the Yellow Jackets. But I look at Peyton Brooks. That's kind of the first person that stands out to me when you look at Oxford this year. She is certainly going to be the leader of this team. And then also they have Ava outside. She's a big-time player for Oxford. So those are the two for me. Obviously, there's a lot of other pieces around them, but I'll believe those two specifically are going to be the big-time players for Oxford. Now, you look at Westbrook Christians, of course, Coach Westbrook Christian made the state tournament last year as well. They fell in the first round of the state tournament to St. Luke's, which, by the way, St. Luke's ended up falling to Plainview in the next round. But so Westbrook's been to the state tournament. They're really good. Coach Madison does a great job at Westbrook Christian. And they also lost a key player a year ago as well, but they have a couple players that are going to be back as well. So I look at Westbrook Christian. Obviously, Reagan Harrell's going to be a loss that they're certainly going to miss. But they did have 2 really good young players last year in Rayleigh Neal and Landry Lipscomb, who I believe are going to be really good players for Westbrook Christian. So both of these teams do have some good experienced pieces that are coming back this year. And so these two went head-to-head yesterday at Champion Sports Academy. So let's go back out to Champion Sports Academy for our Joey Cruz team highlights. seen the highlights right there of Oxford and Westbrook Christian. And then we talked about Whitney Welch and Alexandria earlier. We showed you the highlights of them against Donahoe. Well, they went head-to-head against the Class 2A state runner-up, which was Sandrock. Sandrock was there yesterday. They fell to Pleasant Valley in the state championship game a year ago. So Alexandria, another big test. They played Donahoe, won a state championship 2 years ago, made the state tournament a year ago, played Westbrook Christian, made the state tournament a year ago, played Oxford, made the state tournament a year ago, and then played Sandrock, who was the state runner-up in Class 2A. So Coach Whitney Welch's team is 10-1 so far this summer in summer playdates. So here's them in action against Sandrock. All right, that is our Joey Cruz team highlights for this segment. We are going to talk more about Oxford and Alexandria. They went head-to-head. We have those highlights when we come back after the break. So we are going to take a quick break, but don't go away. We'll be right back on The Locker Room.
We live in a world that moves quickly. And while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
We continue on The Locker Room on this Friday afternoon. It is our final segment of the week. My name is Namath Pitts. We were at Champion Sports Academy yesterday, and the final game that we have highlights of featured two local teams going head-to-head. Class 5A, or Class 4A now. How about that? Whitney Welch and the Alexandria Valley Cubs are dropping from 5A to 4A, so they're going to be in 4A this year. But Class 4A, Whitney Welch and the Valley Cubs went head-to-head with Class 6A, Coach Wendy McKibben and the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Again, I'll look at Oxford. You got to look at Peyton Brooks, look at Ava on the outside. You look at Alexandria, Aaron Spradley, of course, headed to play at Tennessee Tech. They have a lot of other pieces as well. And I think they got, Landry Patterson's going to be good for them. You take her out, put Charlie Paris in, or vice versa, those two, that's going to be a good 1-2 punch right there. And there's a lot of other players outside of them as well. I truly believe that Coach Whitney Welch's team could bring home a 4A state championship this year. And I do believe that Oxford, of course, can get right back to where they were at a year ago and potentially, depending on draws, maybe win a game at the state tournament. And so Peyton Brooks, though, is doing just like her mama did when she played, and that is being a big-time player that has big-time success. All right, so Oxford and Alexandria went head-to-head. We have the Joey Cruz team with Keller Williams Realty Group highlights from Champion Sports Academy in Alexandria. So let's go back out for Alexandria and Oxford. And that's the highlights of all of our action from yesterday at Champion Sports Academy. Big thank you to our intern Tyler for joining me at Champion Sports Academy. He did the bulk of the work yesterday. Actually, I showed up, did the Alexandria Donahoe game, trained him a little bit on it. I went to White Plains to do a football interview, and by the time I came back, they had moved so fast in terms of the schedule that they had already wrapped up the action by the time I got back. And I was only gone like an hour and a half. They had finished that many games that quick, way ahead of schedule. And also, hey, big thank you to just the Patterson family. Obviously, they do a great job running. Kelly Patterson, her husband, they do a great job running Champion Sports Academy. We talked with Jordan Costner yesterday, who does a great job as the volleyball club director at Champions. And so we really enjoyed our time there. It's a great place in Alexandria, and I'd highly encourage any of you to go out there and support Champion Sports Academy. All right, that's going to do it for us for not just today, but for the week. Hope you'll join me on our East Alabama Now News tonight at 6:30 p.m. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you right back here next week. Going to be an interesting week next week. You've got the North-South All-Star Week in Montgomery. We've got Whitney Welch coaching. We got Lily Henry playing. We got Nick Richardson in baseball. We got Sam Wakefield in soccer. A couple different athletes are hitting the field. So we'll be a little bit here, a little bit there next week. So that'll do it for us. Have a great weekend. I'm Namath Pitts. God bless.